up. I guess I've been playing for quite a while already, but I guess it's time for me to, I guess, maybe improve a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. How long have you been playing?
Well, pretty much since launch. It's a lot of on and off, but
Yep. Sure. Sure. And why coaching now? What recently has encouraged you to take the game more seriously? Maybe not more seriously than you have before, but definitely a burst of focus. I assume that's the coaching. So why is that?
well, I think most recently I've been playing more ranked. I think before I played mostly quick play, and now
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of made that transition into
Sure.
more
Sure.
more ranked.
Okay. Why is that?
Uh, I feel like, well, generally I think the level of games that you get in quick play is maybe not always the best, so the ranked ones at least feel more, um, well, I'm not sure how to put it into words, but they feel at least better as games than quick play ones.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, it's just generally better to train in an environment that's more competitive. It's just generally more enjoyable. So it makes total sense. Okay. At the time of the form, you were Masters 5, so low Masters, high Diamond. Where are you approximately now?
So since then, now I'm Diamond 1.
Sure.
Yeah.
So fluctuating about the same rank. Okay.
Yeah.
And Reinhardt, Orisa, Ramatra, the hero pool. Has that always been the case? What has that hero pool looked like since launch? And why? And has that changed since you filled out the form, I guess?
Yeah, so I think I'm still with Thank. I'm maining
Mm-hmm.
Reinhardt, Arisa also quite a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So what got you into those characters initially?
I think it's just a natural inclination. I feel like they just came to me naturally. I feel like I can play them quite well.
Yep. Okay. What does your hero pool look like historically? Has it always been tank and primarily those tanks, or has that changed?
I think originally when the game came out, I played a lot of Diva, but um, I guess I've since then changed, and I guess recently played more damage than tanks.
Sure. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. And then approximately, like, what is your playtime breakdown looking like between those three characters, Reiner, and Ram nowadays?
Uh, on a weekly basis, or
Sure.
um, well, I mean, I would say maybe a couple of hours of Ryan, couple of hours of Arisa at least, and then Ram is not that often much
Okay. Okay.
lately. No.
Sure. And when do you play each one? And what
Uh,
circumstances do you play Ryan versus Orisa?
I think I usually start off with Ryan, and then based on the, I guess, opposing team, I maybe switch to Arisa if I feel like simply, a shield tank like Ryan doesn't like work that well.
Understandable. What are those circumstances?
Mm, well, if there's a counter, especially for example a Ramatra or something in my face,
Uh
or
huh.
if I feel like, um, well, if they have a lot of high ground, or I guess heroes that are on the high ground, I feel like at least with the Risa I get that range of shooting towards the
Interesting.
high ground.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Um, and in terms of how often you end up playing Ryan Orisa, you say it's about close to 50-50 then? So
Pretty
there's about,
much, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. But you rarely start on Orisa. It's mostly just a swap.
Yeah. Usually
Okay.
I start with Reinhardt, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Now, playtime, how is that looking like right now? How much playtime? And obviously, this is really important because there's been a couple of, you've taken the game a little bit more seriously and you've done a little bit more ranked. So, what does that look like the last couple of weeks?
Uh, my playtime the last couple of weeks, or
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
um, I don't have the numbers right now for how much
Yeah,
I've
just give me
played.
an estimate.
In the last couple of weeks, I would probably imagine it's maybe somewhere between maybe 30 hours ish in the
Okay.
last.
Okay. Okay. And how much of that is ranked versus quick player? You've been able to play consistently most days, or has it been more like bursts and then taking a few days off?
I would say it's, well, still probably mostly quick play. I feel like the ranked ones usually are quite intensive, so
Sure.
they come more in bursts, and then maybe some quick play to kind of wind down or during other times.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, you play a lot of quick play now, still, and yet you wanted to move into more ranked. And ranked is going to be your best option for improvement by far, 100%. So, what are your goals like right now? Your thing initially says High Master and Grandmaster. Why is that your goal specifically?
I think I just want to push myself a little bit, see how well I can play and how far I can get.
Sure.
I think that's kind of my main
Sure.
goal here.
Have you pushed yourself in training recently?
In training, as in terms of
Like you talked about mostly quick play, but has there been more ranked as of recently than normal? You think that was something that we brought up earlier in the discussion?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Definitely more ranked, and kind of like really trying to look at my games, the ones that I've played, and
Okay.
trying to maybe analyze myself what could have been better.
Okay. And how has that gone? Like pushing yourself? Like have you, not necessarily in terms of success or pass or fail, but has that been satisfying, enjoyable, or has it been more of a chore?
It has been enjoyable, I think. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there's always something that can be learned from games.
Perfect.
And,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm going to keep in mind because to be honest with you, hitting High Master, Grandmaster is, quite a lofty goal, but obviously. So for you to reach that level generally requires you to train exceptionally. And if you do not enjoy that training, it will be exceptionally difficult for you to achieve that goal and probably not all that worthwhile. So I'm going to push you even more with your training schedule right now. I don't know exactly what you're doing right now, but I'm going to kind of spell it out. You most likely need to be training anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours of solo queue ranked about 5 days a week for you to achieve your goals. So what I would say, if that's the long-term goal or that's the end goal, then maybe the focus should be on instead, can I play, like really first off, I want you to evaluate exactly how you're playing. We don't really have a clear answer on exactly how much quick play versus how much ranked and how many days you're playing. It seems a little bit unpredictable, and I'm going to ask you to be a little bit more consistent with how you're training, if that makes sense. So what that might start off with is doing 2 or 3 ranked games, tops, 5 days a week. So the goal is to get to maybe close to 2 hours, but let's just go 2 or 3 games. So it's going to be close to just under an hour of ranked every day, Arissa Ryan. Make sense?
Yeah, sounds
and
great.
then you're going to go back and answer that question I asked about 7 to 8 minutes ago. Is that fun? Are you enjoying that? And if the answer is, yeah, this has been fine, okay, then let's continue that and then maybe add 1 more game a day. And we'll continue to do that a little bit by little bit, adding additional training goals, reevaluating your warm-up, making sure you're taking breaks, making sure that you're still enjoying the process until we've reached our training quota. And maybe by then we'll actually get closer to our goal. So basically, if you're Diamond 1 right now, adding increased quality and consistency with your game and doing so for, let's say, 2 months should make you rank up. It probably won't get you to Grandmaster, but it might get you to, I don't know, low Masters again, maybe mid-Masters. We'll see. Make sense?
That sounds great.
So long-term goal is Grandmaster. I don't know if we're going to get there, so let's baby step your way up and see if that you continue to enjoy the training along that path. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Worst case scenario, you're like, I'm getting frustrated, getting burned out. Then we'll dial it back and we'll keep Overwatch productive. And worst case scenario, now you'll know what to train when if you do want to achieve that goal. But I want to emphasize that goal is very lofty. So if you do not like the training to achieve that, don't feel bad because that's something only 1% of Overwatch players will ever dream of achieving. And it does not. It's just a video game, right? So you're already a phenomenal Overwatch player. Like hitting Masters is something that 97 whatever percent of players never will do. So, okay, makes sense.
Sounds good. Yep.
Things that are holding you back. You talk about understanding and a little bit of mentality. Let's kind of lowball this one really fast. Get the easy stuff first. Let's talk about mentality. What about mentality specifically, if anything comes to mind?
Well, I at least just thinking about the latest or one of the latest games I played yesterday. I think we had a team of mostly people again, complaining in chat, complaining in
Yes.
voice chat,
Yes.
and that's kind of like, I guess, drags me down, demotivates.
Yes.
Like, what can I really do? And it,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. But it's interesting that you're taking responsibility for that. So you're saying it's your mentality that's affecting you in that regard.
Well, I suppose I could do better. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because it's the only, you can't really control people being, crying babies, right? So yeah, I'm going to ask you, what can you change then? How do you respond to that better?
That's a great question. I'm not sure exactly what I could do in a situation like that. Of
Sure.
course, I can try to do my best. I can try to pump up the team, but hard to say really.
Okay, so that one is difficult because that does take focus and energy from you, no, to do that? And that is focus and energy that is diverted away from other things that you could be doing. So that might be the biggest bang for your buck, cheering up a depressed team and then they can clutch it out. That might increase your chances of winning. But there's no consistent guaranteed value out of doing that. The only consistent guaranteed value is you playing perfectly, right? Now, obviously, you're not going to play perfectly, but when you focus and give more effort, you are going to play better, and that's going to increase your chances of your team having a better attitude indirectly. So your choice here is am I going to enjoy more? Pumping up my team, encouraging my team for the chance, 1 in 3, 1 in 4, that you clutch it out and win it out through your PMA. That is fine if that's what you enjoy. I am a bit more of a pessimist, and I don't like talking with morons over voice chat. So generally what I do is I avoid the negativity entirely and just focus on playing the absolute best that I possibly can. Because then if the game result is lost, I can still look at that game as a productive training opportunity, even if it was a complete train wreck of a result. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So the only
constant is you, I suppose.
Correct. The only consistent thing that you can control is the execution of your gameplay. Even the other day I did a live coaching session with a tracer player in like gold, and they had a lever first like 30 seconds. But you know what? We got like a good 3 or 4 fights, 4v5, where they were able to focus on their blink dancing, and then they left the game because 2-minute timer, right? But it was like, hey, those minutes aren't completely wasted, right? So in those situations, I'm not going to say that it's bad to be positive and reinforce your team if that's something that you enjoy and that's something that brings value to you, but you have to know that is much more volatile and inconsistent than just focusing on yourself. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's just more volatile. So your patience is really your dictating of whether you want to do that or not. Your choice. Make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is why when we talk about changing habits, one of the first things I recommend for most players that are really self-focused, which might be you, is to completely turn off all forms of communication and never join again. At least until you get to a much, much, much higher rank where the chances of people mentally booming are lower. Not zero, but lower. Just by the nature of more serious players means more serious play. You get what I'm saying? So I climbed to like 4.15, 4.2 without voice channel. And then I started to use voice because people were generally a lot more productive, but I was also very trigger happy with the second people got grumpy, just left instantly because I just enjoy training that way. Because you got to think about the road to Grandmaster is paved with 100 games, 200 games, 300 games, 400 games, right? So how much do you want to tolerate along that line? Your choice.
Yeah,
Make sense?
That's a great idea. I feel like many times it is the chat that also makes me do or makes me make bad decisions.
Yes, it affects you. People like to say that, I'm not bothered by team chat and team voice, but they are at least distracted by it. Even streamers, right? You can laugh it off, but why are you laughing, right? Like you should that's still something that is taking your attention away from something else, I'm not saying that everything has to be all serious, no fun, no nothing, but also at the same time, it's like if you want to get better, like you're there to just find value and fun out of just playing the game, right? So if you're not actively in voice with friends or, somebody that you can trust to be consistently productive, then I just don't trust the people. So I don't think Overwatch voice chat or team chat's particularly toxic in comparison to other games. I actually think it's pretty positive compared to other games, but it's up to you. Your choice. Now,
yep.
What we did is we talked about your mentality as a consequence of your habits and your choices. Not necessarily something that you have to worry about. It's something that you have to take ownership of and then make your own decision. Let's translate that over to understanding, which I assume is why you're here. But how do you know that you're stupid? How do you know that you're ignorant? Right? There has to be some sort of understanding that put you here in the first place, right? Where do you feel like you're deficient?
I guess. Well, I'm not sure, but my thinking back then was the whole understanding of both positioning of
Sure.
as a tank taking space and what
Yeah.
angles to take and so on.
Sure.
I feel like I'm not the most consistent with those.
Yeah,
I
of
feel like
course.
I have a kind of vague idea of how it should be done, but
Okay.
I don't have that in-depth understanding of what's always the best choice to kind of go for.
Sure. So we'll level up your understanding a little bit here, but most importantly, I would like to give you clarity of direction with how you should improve your own understanding and execution in game. So we'll definitely give you some information that will help you make decisions between fights, but the most important thing is we'll give you a direction of what kind of decisions you should be making live time. So how do we utilize some of the knowledge that you already have, if that makes sense? Because the difference between knowledge and action is skill. It's habits. Doing something is the only thing that counts, not knowing things, if that makes sense. Otherwise, it'd be so much easier in the world to do things. Make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's do that right now. Let's get the replay code here. Now, why this particular replay code? Looking at this first one here.
Yeah, I feel like this particular one was a game that I felt was winnable, definitely, and it was a pretty close game overall. So that's why I felt like this could be looked at, and I feel like I definitely could have done better, but yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Perfect. Close game. It's a decent map for Reinhardt, so it's definitely a situation where being able to move around and is valuable. Any other questions before we jump in?
Not right now, no.
Okay. Let me give you a very clear answer on where Rein and Orisa are better. So Rein's advantage over Orisa is his mobility and his ability to deal with crowd control consistently, but mostly mobility. So any map where moving around in angles and flanks, it's just going to feel better. The more compressed the map, ironically, the more likely you're going to find value out of Orisa in most situations, if that makes sense. The reason why that's the case is because the difference between Rein and Orisa, shield, but Fortify and Javelin Spin kind of have the same anti-CC, anti-burst value, right? It's mostly due to the fact of what you're doing right now. It's this pen. This pen is everything. Your ability to pen, your ability to control lateral space is incredibly important. So ironically, when you said earlier, I like the Orisa versus the verticality and high ground because at least I have a weapon, that's true, but pen and shield's way better. Pen and shield is way better at controlling high grounds. I would 10 times rather run Rein in Gibraltar than Orisa in Gibraltar. I would 10 times rather run Rein on Havana versus snipers than Orisa and Havana versus snipers. Because while you do have the gun to fire back, you're opening yourself up to damage with just your jaw. You're going to get punched in the mouth a lot. And if you don't hit the javelin, you're going to lose a lot of HP. And you really can't get up there very easily either. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Rein versus those high grounds, it's not really a lot of swinging. It's the threat of swinging that allows you to clear space effectively, if that makes sense. Now, Orisa really good in compressed space. I think the Ramatra example you brought up earlier is great. Mauga, she's good versus the Reapers. She's good versus the Mei. She can handle herself versus Junkrat better than Reinhardt can. Her ability to get her hands dirty and still apply pressure consistently is extremely valuable. Her ultimate is pretty consistent in that regard as well. And even her minor perk helps her with it. The ability to move at full speed with Fortify is really valuable in that regard. So you're going to be utilizing your mobility as Rein. You're going to be utilizing your brawl potential, your short range potential with Orisa. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look here. Rein is all about moving corner to corner, applying pressure at specific corners with the threat of hitting with your hammer. Hammer threat is the entire engine of Rein's value. And what allows him to consistently do that is his shield. So his shield enables his hammer because it allows him to go to places to threaten your hammer. The enemy team rotates away from you, correct? We know how this goes. And then what do? You hold your shield so that you can buy time and then find value by rotating to the next corner. Does that make sense? So the purpose here is I'm going to hit you with my hammer, but right now I can't hit you with my hammer. So what should I do? Well, shield, right? Now, the best shield in the game, the state things like a bronze player, but let's start from the basics, is cover, corners. So really shield should only be utilized when you are not near cover. That's the goal. So right now, your threat of hammer is scaring people. So all you need to do is hold your shield and move to where?
To point, I
To
suppose.
point, sure, to cover, somewhere where you can't go. And the value of being here is such that the enemy team is more compressed than your team needs to be. Because anytime the enemy team walks forward, there's the threat of your big bad hammer. So if we look at things from a subjective point right now, who has the potential to control more space? And it's you. Because you have hammer, you have shield, you have point. Does that make sense? So your mistake here, great fire strikes, great shield, move your butt to a corner and move your butt to a corner now.
Okay.
Immediately. Because you cannot always shield for your team. You just need to focus on using shield for you to hold the most aggressive space that you can so that the enemy DPS supports and tank are choked out of good positions. The way that Overwatch space macro works is it's a really, really simple concept. If this Widow, Reaper, BAP, Kiriko are stuck here, their sightlines are really compressed and really bad, and it's really easy to hide from them. If you get to here, you've opened up point. You've opened up here. You've opened up here, and so on. And just those additional angles that you have created for your team means that your Sojourn, your Kiriko, your Wu Ying, your Mei have more better shooting locations to do more and better damage. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And that's all it is. Now this is where I'm going to kind of bleed some Orisa into this because Orisa and Reinhardt are very similar with the exception that Orisa can't move around her angles as much. If I was playing Orisa, I would do something very similar to what you did here. I might throw a javelin. I might throw a javelin spin, but I'm going to go again to the exact same corner. I'm more vulnerable in that transition because I don't have shield, but once I get to the corner, I can actually continually apply pressure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Same thing. So both kind of shortish range tanks that use the threat of your... You see, you've not created enough space. You started, and then you didn't move to a corner. So do you see where this BAP is now? Do you see where this Hazard is now? Do you see where this Reaper is now? This transition should have been much more difficult if you'd quickly moved to the corner, because this would have been much scarier for Baptiste to walk forward. If it's scarier for Baptiste to walk forward, who's not getting as much support? Hazard. Reaper. So while you couldn't directly contest Hazard Reaper, you could contest the support that should be behind them, the support that you let come forward. And why? Because you didn't move forward to the corner.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So me kind of chaining things together is more explaining why corners are important, but that's the knowledge that you don't necessarily have to know. It's just fun to know. What you must act on is moving to the corner. You don't have to follow the chain in the moment. Okay, I'm going to contest the BAP so it doesn't contest. No, you don't need to do that. You just hold corner and hit people with your hammer. That's it. I'm explaining the nuance so you understand why it's important, but you don't need to understand why it's important in game. You just need hold corner. That all. Caveman, you know?
All right. Very simple. Yeah.
Very simple. So even like throwing fire strikes here. Yeah, it's good. That was really good fire strike. But you see what you're having to do here? You're having to close the gap with a pin where you should have just been there in the first place, which opens up more flexibility for maybe I pin the Hazard later, maybe I pin off the Widow. I don't really care. So I like this pin mechanically. That's a great read. I just hate where you started. Make sense?
Yeah, I see that.
Now this is where Orisa and Ryan are different. Because right now, if your team is willing to move forward, you can decide to pin to a different angle here. So your Widow's here. What should you do here? Because your Mei is deciding... your Widow. Your Mei is deciding to push forward. Okay, now what do you do?
Well, I decided in this...
Think caveman.
Caveman would say cover, I suppose.
Cover and hit people with your hammer. Hit people with your hammer near a corner, okay? So where are people? I don't know. Find them now.
Okay. Yeah,
if you knew that they were here, you could control this space right here. This would be good. If you could move forward here, like let's say they're pushing here, you could control space right here to prevent the back door. You could also walk forward with your team, but if you don't see anybody, then there's no real point. Your choice. Just shove your face into a corner and do not let the enemy team do anything for it. So right now, I don't mind what we're doing, but you can kind of see that you're not really doing anything. It's kind of redundant what you're doing, whereas now you're vulnerable to this angle here. Does that make sense? And why did you not go there? Because you didn't know they were there.
Right.
Makes sense?
So
That's
should
simple.
I have... Yeah. What would be the general suggestion here if I don't know if they're coming from the back, for example?
Listen, right? Just listen carefully. Decide on where you want to control and then listen carefully to threats there. That's all. Like right now, exactly what you're doing is pretty good value right now, but you only did it because you knew that she was there, right? So just pay attention to what's going on around you. It's one of the most important skills with Reinhardt. It's to know peripherally where people are on angles and then decide where you want to position accordingly. That's it.
All right, fair enough.
So you can handle this Widow, no problem. This is good. This is helpful for your team because it's simplifying what they have to worry about. And in addition, the nice thing about Ryan is you can control an angle and just take 0 damage, like literally 0 damage. Like there's not really another tank that could do that, you know? So where's your corner to hold?
Well, the corner to hold could be to the right here as well.
Sure, you could. You could. Why is this feeling so bad? Like this feels terrible. Why? What is awkward on our screen? Do you see it carefully? Look at your resources.
Well, shield is sort of breaking.
Right. Why? Let's go back to context here.
Well, they seem to be pushing in through that one choke.
Which is fine. But I know your intention here is to protect from the Widow while your team is dealing with ball. But it's important that if you're going to do that, that you're exactly on a corner. So if your shield breaks, you don't take damage. Preferably, I would want you here because this is an off angle, right? Just on this different door, so it's inconvenient for you, the enemy team. But yeah, you need to deal with that angle there. Now, interestingly enough here, I don't really like you chasing ball here. Why?
I guess it takes me away from the choke here.
The corner.
Or the cover.
The corner. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm being nitpicky, but yes, exactly.
The threat of my hammer is, I guess, taken away from Kiriko and instead the BAP.
Anything here, right? Yeah, anything here. This is your responsibility because this is the corner, so this is your responsibility. Is it always bad to pin back? No, of course not. If you get the kill here, it's fine. But what are the odds of getting the kill on a Wrecking Ball at full HP?
Yeah, quite low. Yeah.
Right, so it's a bad read from you here. If this Wrecking Ball was slept, maybe, or half HP, or if this was a Winston without Primal, or anything, then this might have been worth the risk. But right now, you're vulnerable. And your team eventually whittles down, not by the ball, but by what's behind the ball. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely, yeah.
So it's just simple. Where's the next corner? Control the threats with your hammer. Where's the next corner? Control the threats with your hammer. And there's these transitions like this here that are really important not to get distracted here. Because where should your attention be again right now? Where's your corner? Right? So where's your corner?
Right. Yeah.
You tell me. Where should you be shielding to? Moving with your shield, but moving to where?
Towards the enemy that's currently shooting us.
Just this corner here, right? This corner right here. Hold shield, get to here, then you decide whether you want to keep pushing or just hold the corner. Your choice. But this is a huge problem because if anybody dies here, who are they going to die to? Obviously. It's going to be Widow or Bat or Kira.
Right.
You understand? So it's not bad to swing on ball, but it's bad to swing on ball when there's other corner, when you're not on a corner controlling space. This is good. I think you realize it here. So this is good. You know? But the problem here is there's not a tight enough transition. Where should you be transitioning to now? Next step. Next corner.
Potentially the one on the right, I suppose.
Yeah, you could go here. You could literally just walk right in front of you. Just get to here quickly. It's these transitions that take a little bit too long. Even here, right? What are you really doing showing shield here? You're giving them a target. You see what I'm saying? Now, I know the idea is that I want to stop that Widow from peeking here. But I'm going to kind of introduce a concept here. Okay, maybe you're behaving differently with Widow than you are with other characters. It's more important for you to compress the enemy's space and use your shield to get to those spaces than it is to permanently shut off that sight line forever with your shield. Because you can't permanently shut it off forever. Case in point. Your shield's going to break. And you need shield to be able to hold this corner. Because if they push you or you see an opportunity to push and you don't have shield, you can't push. You moving them here is more important than shielding them off. Does that make sense? And I think that's a really important concept. You are thinking too late about it, but you are thinking about compressing and cutting off. But you're thinking more about it from a shield perspective rather than a hammer perspective. As in you being here, shoving the Widow. You can't stop her from peeking this angle, but at least you will force this range where Sojourn can actually do something. You understand?
Yeah.
You shoved her into the locker, but you can't shield her off forever. That's just the nature of the game. You just have to trust your team. And there it goes. I don't mind this because you can force point pressure right now. This is pressure right now. You see it? So now it's useful because they have to come to your hammer. Why?
well, they want to contest point. They want
Correct.
to.
Correct. So just full confidence. Full confidence. Full confidence. You see this dancing? Don't do this. Commit to point or commit to off of point. No, nothing in between. You're being way too wishy-washy here. Just cap point faster and then pin off as fast as you can. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
Point
I was
pressure.
thinking I don't want to be the one capping point if I could be taking that space.
I agree, but then you should have pinned off of point immediately.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you have to be decisive. Ryan is really good at pushing high grounds. Ryan is really good at forcing point. You see either of those extremes in pro play all the time. You just commit to point and shield and nobody can clear you off because you commit to clearing high ground. You just got to commit to whatever you do.
Yeah.
Okay, commit to your corner. You could deal with this tracer, but also you don't have to deal with tracer. You can commit to corner here or corner here. You know, your choice. They're going to come from multiple angles. You can deal with that. See, this is the floating that I don't like. You see it? A lot of, I'm going to take space aggressively, but I'm not really committing. What could you do here? How could you take space, control space right now? Where could you go? Where's your next corner? Do something silly. Do something silly.
Well, the silliest I could do is maybe push the tracer in the room there.
You could. Mm-hmm. You could go even sillier.
It would give me cover.
You could go even sillier.
Even sillier. I suppose I could go after the BAP.
Pin after the BAP. Pin after him. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Why? Because you know where ball is. You know where tracer is. Is there a corner here? Absolutely. Do you have shatter? Yeah. Do you have full shield? Yeah. Do you have full HP? Yeah. Get him out. Get him out. Do not let him angle on your Mei here. Get him out. Do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or commit to controlling the corner here because they're going to have to touch point. Or, as you said, commit to dealing with the tracer. Commit. Commit. Whatever you do, commit. That's the thing. The shield is what enables you to use your hammer, right? That's the key thing. And there's a lot of spectating from you here. Nice fire strike. You see, even here, right? This is a bad play from you. Why? What is your responsibility right now? Can you guess?
I guess it's to hold back the tracer. I guess she's
Correct.
still around here.
Isn't that weird, right? It is, though. It's your job. Why? Because you're here. You've chosen this angle, so now you must deal with the consequences of it. Can you deal with tracer? I mean,
Absolutely.
I guess. I mean, you can at least keep her busy, right? Count her blinks and shatter her, you know? Do it up. You know, like, why not? See what happens. Because this is, do you see, the reason why this doesn't work is because you have no information here. You don't know what's going on. All you know is there's mines. You don't even know if there's anybody here, right? So, like, obviously the shatter's, like, not great, but you're still, like, you're not even dealing with the thing that you were on. Trust your team to deal with this. You deal with tracer, right? Because the worst thing that could happen is tracer pinches you from behind while the Kiriko and ball come from the other side. You just let your team deal with this. Now, if you had chosen to be here initially, then we could have dealt with that. Nice pen. Make sense?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
hold your corner, change your corner. But even when you pin, a lot of how you pin is thinking about where's the next corner that I can go to. I would probably choose the pen for shield perk, as bad as it is here, just because I think you're going to be using pen more on this map, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It depends. I look at this perk as better on more compressed matchups, if that makes sense. Your Rein, Mirrors, Ram, Orisa, Zarya, anything where you're more likely to hit a pin, if that makes sense. I look at this and I'm like, it's going to be difficult to do that. And I actually think the same with major perks. I think Shield Bash would be better here as well, but this one would be better, again, Rein, Orisa, Ram. King's Row, you'd run the other major perk, if that makes sense.
Right.
The attack speed. It's more like your ability to kind of do kind of what you just did. That's kind of the value here. So, okay. Where's your next corner? You know, go walk at these guys. Walk at them. Yeah. Walk at them.
Yep.
Walk at them. Choose one to walk at. You see, you're trying to do both. Just commit. Get in his face and murder him. Go. Force secure. Walk at her and force her to teleport. Do it right now. Don't let yourself get pincered.
Yeah, so commit more. Yeah.
Commit more to an angle to a corner. Yes. Yes, perfect. She wants to push that angle to DPS. She cannot do that anymore. Good job. Now we pen. And this is going to be really easy because you're just going to walk forward and you're going to walk down. Now you're like, oh, but there's no corner here. Okay, make your own corner. Go.
Yeah.
You could go here. You could go here. Your choice. Just don't stand here. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to force point. Where should you be right now?
Well, holding a corner, I guess.
Holding a corner. This is okay. This is better because it's an off angle. What do you do from this angle? Can the BAP walk forward? No. Can the Echo walk forward? Not really. That's what we want. And if you were more decisive with that, then you'd have more shield to allow yourself to hold that corner. So again, you're thinking about backline follow-up, which I really like, but you're doing so in the open. That's the difference. Remember, we said it. It's think less about shield and think more about denying the enemy team positions. Don't think about shielding follow-up.
Yeah.
Think about presence blocking follow-up. You see how much easier this has been since you got here? Like, it's so much easier. And then here even, just don't let your shield break. Yeah, don't let your shield break. I wouldn't pin here. I would just shatter. Follow his movement and then just shatter. I would 100% shatter here. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I see that in hindsight. That's
yeah,
definitely,
just
I don't know what I was
on anything. Like, if you're here and you see this here and you're like, okay, wall, I'm turning here and I'm just shattering. Bam, swing, and then just going to let my team deal with it and I'll hold this back line. Make sense?
Absolutely.
You've got the right idea of controlling backline-ish. The problem is that you're still thinking more about your shield blocking the follow-up than your presence. And so that just means the execution is just really not good. Okay, let's keep going here. Everything in terms of like how difficult this feels like is a follow-up of you not doing that very well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, this is presence forcing space. Good. Presence forcing space. Good. Don't fall back. Where's your next corner? You're here. Where do you go next?
Well, I would imagine the next corner.
Just go here.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
So even if the team is not technically following me, I want to take those.
Yes, and the reason the team isn't following you is because they're dealing with this guy and they're dealing with this guy. You need them to deal with that without fear of repercussions of what these guys are going to do, and the only way to do that is for you to hold the corner here. And the reason why the corner is so important is because it's what allows you to hold space without losing HP, because you're not going to get healed here, right? You're not going to get healed here. So you need to move forward to the corner as quickly as you can to preserve that shield, preserve that HP. So you're way too worried about this. They got it. They got it. It's a 3v1. It's okay. You go deal with making sure that this doesn't happen. Because the problem with this is not only are you not contesting her, but you're also losing HP to her. And that means that your supports have to worry about you when they should be worried about themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
This is your responsibility. Remember, we said this with the Tracer, right? We said this with the Bat. This is your angle, your responsibility. If Tracer was here, it'd be your responsibility. If Ball was here, he'd be your responsibility. But this... that's a failure to use a corner. That's a failure to block follow-up. You have to trust your team. Maybe I don't even walk forward here. Maybe I just hold here and check and wait and hold forward and check and wait until we walk forward. But they will walk forward. They will walk forward. Does that make sense? But the reason why this feels so bad is because, again, these guys just aren't contested. They walked away. You could just walk to here and be like, surprise, bud, and drop on their head and start swinging, right? That's the best peel you could do for your Mei here.
Right, yeah.
And that's really the Overwatch 2 Rein stuff, right? It's not chasing butterflies. It's using this right here. This is it. Because what is this going to do to Echo, Kiri, Lucio? What are they going to do?
Push them back.
They're going to push them back, right? So then now you don't even have to worry. I mean, you're going to shield yourself because this corner's not that good. But you're going to not have to worry about your backline here. Because he stopped, right? You got to go. You got to use that shield, right? And here we go again. Turn around. Hold these guys. Do not let them walk forward. And in this situation here, instead of trying to shield off all angles, what should you do instead? So you've got Lucio here, Kiri, Echo there. Where should you go?
Well, I suppose the corner here. To the,
sure, but choose,
to the left.
Right?
Yep,
sure. Left is probably more
but
consistent.
Not in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. But you need to commit to a side, right? Lucio is annoying, Tracer's annoying, but you can't deal with all of them. You could choose to commit to clearing out Lucio. You could choose to commit to clearing out Kiriko. Kiriko, obvious answer because she's more accessible and also ultimate, right? But this is kind of what I'm talking about. Just commit. You trust your team to deal with those things. Just get her, you know? And then stay with her. Don't look away, you know? I would even use my pin here. I have enough shield. I have 2 fire strikes and a little bit of HP. I'm going to pin all the way in here, force her to teleport, walk to the corner here, and then walk forward behind them. It's much more useful. Do not let her keep that angle, because you will eventually lose this fight the more positions the enemy team has. You see this? We must get you on one of these angles now. And if we don't, we're probably going to eventually lose this fight. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see that.
There's too much damage coming from too many angles, and that's where your shield is really weak, because your shield, if the enemy team sets up, really can't stop the poke, you see? And what's actually happening is you're actually the one that dies to the angles. That's the irony there. It's just a ticking time bomb. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And that's where Rein is better than Orisa is, because in that situation there, Orisa can't really close the gap on that Kiriko as easily as Rein can. Okay, let's keep going here. Do you want to do some? Actually, do you want to do some live coaching here? We've got some time if you'd like to. We can keep going to the review. It's totally up to you.
Live coaching.
Yeah, we don't have to. We can keep going. There's plenty to look at here. We got 2 codes.
It's how much time do we have?
About 25 minutes. I told the next session we're running a little bit behind, so I don't mind running 5 over even from where we started.
All right. I mean, why not? We could try.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And then while you're in queue, in the 60 seconds of tank queue, we can look at a couple more fights. While you're getting your stream pulled up and logging in, I'm just going to keep watching a little bit the side, just see if I can pick up anything else. But it will be likely be more of the same. And then while you're in queue, we can talk about more of what we've seen.
Yeah, sounds good.
Stream quality doesn't have to be good either. Just use whatever. 480, 30 frames. I really don't care.
I haven't done this before, so I would go to share my screen.
And select the Overwatch app. You should be able to.
Yeah. Screen quality. Okay. Right, I hope it's working.
Looks good.
Great.
Just jump in queue and we'll keep going.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll talk about channeling that knowledge into action. And it will be very, very simple.
Okay.
It may not be executed easily because it takes time and practice to do things well, but
of course.
We'll know exactly how we should be framing our practice, really simply.
Yep.
TLDR so far is I've seen a lot more of the same. A lot more of indecisive action, shielding rather than playing corners and pressing. And then mostly really looking overwhelmed when we're surrounded, instead of just decisively clearing an angle, essentially. And just trusting our team.
Turn up the volume a little bit here.
Okay, let me see the Orisa swap here and see maybe if I can get some brief feedback for Orisa as well. It's gonna be more of the same with Orisa, but that there's less ability to move around on angles, but more ability to punish once you're actually there, because her gun, weapon, javelin is just better than hammer. So, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, it's good so far. Yeah, just go and do your bans, pick your map, whatever you like. What map are we on actually?
I think we're on Eichenwald.
Oh, nice, excellent. A little bit of a tricky broad map. We'll force Rein here, if that works for you.
Yeah.
Your Orisa cooldowns are pretty good so far. I think the big thing with the Orisa is it's the same problem with Rein, but with Orisa, where you're ADHDing. You're trying to decide what to deal with, and what ends up happening is you end up floating in the open and taking a lot of unnecessary damage trying to deal with threats that you're not close to. Instead of just committing to, I'm going to deal with the fire, I'm going to deal with the ball, or this is the Kiriko's here, so I'm going to deal with her, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where Orisa can get poked out really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to work on here. I'm going to have you choose an angle, choose a corner, moving from corner to corner to corner to corner, right? Nothing problem.
Right.
And then whatever is on your lane, whatever is next to you, contesting you on that space, that is your responsibility. Make sense? That's all.
Yep.
So whatever's there, that's your job. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, I don't really care. That's your job. Trust your team to do their job.
All right.
Okay, a lot of damage here. So you're going to need to think here, where's my next corner from here?
Yep.
And do so quickly. No transition.
Alright.
Use your shield to help you, and then find it in a permanent corner here. So this is you're getting off-angled. It's fine, your backline got picked off here. Close, but that angle, do you notice that you were unable to stabilize there? You're getting pincered. That's not a good enough corner.
Okay.
Now you got accretioned out of your pin. Maybe your intention was to go deeper, so that's fine. But let's be decisive here. You can even go for crazy angles. As long as there's a permanent cover, we're good. That might even be the play here. Okay, where's your corner? Take. Good. Next corner, because we're getting poked here. And do so decisively. Even use your pin if you have to.
Yeah.
Wait for your shield. Wait for your shield. Good. Yeah. Just wait. Wait.
All right.
Let's get a trade here.
What should I do with this Sigma here?
Yeah, just get. Don't worry about it. That's not your responsibility. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you think about what you did there, like your team got picked off, but did you notice that the entire backline got shoved on the point, right? So they were no longer lethal. Now you guys died to a Sigma off angle, but that's not your responsibility. That's your team's responsibility.
Okay.
The only problem is that I'm still seeing, I want to go find permanent cover. I would have pinned even deeper to the right side for more cover.
Right.
Okay, wait for your... Yeah, all the way. Good. It's fine. Just chill for a second. You can shield off a little bit here. Wait to stabilize, and then your next cover. Good. Next cover. Keep going to the right. Keep going to the right. Use your shield to get you to the right. Yes, yes, yes. Now hold here and just chill. You don't have resources, so just wait. Still waiting on resources. We can just swing on this. Good. Still don't have resources, so just wait. Team is dead. Let's go and get a trade or get out. Your choice.
Yeah,
Don't think we win this. You might be able to get out here and save that HP. That was really good. That was really, really, really good. Just feed support ult charge here. Don't worry about your main.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Commit to there. That was good.
Yeah.
Do that again. Just a little bit faster.
Yep.
Good. Next corner and do it now. Your team is here. We got to go. Doesn't have to be all the way in the back line. Let's do one thing one at a time. Good. Go right. Nice. Good. We can move up. Hold shield. Hold shield. Hold shield.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is where you need to use your shield for the rotation. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't have cover when you're moving.
Yeah.
So do be a little bit more patient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Either perk here is fine.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, where's your corner? First corner. Good. Next corner. Good. Next corner. Don't take damage during this rotation. Good. It's fine. It's difficult. There's a lot of damage here, but it's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to have to look at this one afterwards, but in the meantime, just keep practicing. One step at a time. We have one more fight here. Find cover. Yeah, it's okay.
Ouch.
It's okay. It's okay.
This
We can pin out.
It's a very different way than I usually play.
Yeah, I understand. Good chatter. Oh, it's unfortunate we lost our nano. Okay. So this is a good one to look at because I think these kind of comps are going to punish the way that you played in the last the Suravasa rather more so than anything else, because this kind of composition you absolutely have to take angles and flank, and you got to do so quickly because there is so much damage here that you are going to explode. And the worst part about it as well is Orisa will feel even worse. You get a Discord orb, you're going to explode, especially versus this Sigma. So this is the kind of matchup where if you don't know what you're doing, there's actually nothing in your hero pool that's going to work here. And this is what I talked about, like with match chat and team chat. You get what I'm saying? Like this is clearly distracting, and so like I'm gonna have you go and press P really quick.
P. Wait a minute.
Or maybe you don't have social thing tabbed to P. Okay, maybe you have to bind. Just basically just mute team chat, basically.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, whatever is fine. Yeah, sure. Find your corner, hold your corner, and then we're gonna need to review this one because I do think there's a bit of an understanding gap here, just a little bit. It's a little bit tricky to have a very dive-heavy matchup and then a very poke-heavy matchup, but the concepts are still the exact same, and we'll take a careful look.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to not take damage, but hold corners decisively. Do not let them poke you from range. So right now, do not give them shield to shoot. You're giving them shield to shoot, you need to find your corner instead. This is not where we're holding. Fall back to the previous corner, and this corner is your job. You see, you're standing in the open, letting your shield break, right?
Yep.
Just hold here.
Okay.
But I need you to avoid taking damage while we're waiting. Don't show your shield. Don't show your shield. Don't show your shield. You're not swinging anything, so don't do anything. Just regenerate your shield. Now we might need our shield because we're actually going in. Now we can hold our shield. Find your next corner. Find your next corner, quick. Good. And hide. Hide. Oh, careful. Now we have some resources. We can move forward to the next corner.
Yep.
You could push them up top right here, up the
close.
stairs. That's okay. Just good. Next, go up top. Go up. Good. Next corner. You can go push them. There you go. It's good. Don't show shield. I want you on corner.
Yeah.
Only show shield during transition. Like it's.
All right.
Good. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Now we need shield because we're in the open a little bit. I'll find your next corner again. Don't show shield here either. Don't give them something to shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you're either swinging, fire striking, or hiding behind a corner. This is when you show shield because they're like, oh no, I gotta swing, gotta back off.
All right.
There it is. That's okay. And by back off, I should have clarified. I mean just shield and back up. Doesn't necessarily mean pen. But at least you had shield there. That's better.
Yep.
Okay. Keep it up. Okay. Next corner. Go right back to where you were. Go quick. You can even pin there if you want. And then you're either swinging or you're behind a wall. Too far away. Back up. And don't show shield either. Don't show shield. Right? Don't show shield. It's okay. You're good. 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 We can push something here. Is there anything close? Good. Walk to your corner here. Walk right now to a corner. Left or right. Your choice. Sure. Oh, you guys, Charlie and Reinhardt. That's unfortunate. Okay, that was better. That was much better. But let's pull up the replay code. So leave the game and pull up the replay code, and we'll talk about it. So there's definitely going to have to be a training change in how you play Rein. There has to be a bit of a transition from how you're thinking about Rein, right? Like the shield being used to enable you to hold space, right? But not used to prevent follow-up, right?
Right.
There's definitely a bit of a learning curve that's going to have to be done here, and there's definitely have to kind of pull up some old habits, right? And that's going to be the most challenging aspect for you. And I actually want to look at both the attack and defense briefly, and we have just enough time to do that.
Perfect.
So 7NT D48. I can just read that off. 7NT D48. And can you jump back in my stream here if you can see?
I'll stop my stream if that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, that's no problem. Okay. So first things first, we'll look at the progressively taking space. Okay? So moving from corner to corner. And I want to challenge you to coach yourself here. Do you see the problem here?
Okay, I guess I'm standing a bit too much in the open.
And you're showing shield, right?
I could have just gone straight into
the show. You so have to shield here to
transitions.
Yes,
I do want to hold up the shield.
Correct. Yeah. You're pinning or shielding on transitions.
Yep.
That's what makes Rein strong because he prevents himself from losing HP, right? The problem here is that you're having to show shield. You should be showing shield here, but you shouldn't be showing shield if you're doing things the right way. You're not transitioning decisively enough. Does that make sense? So you do need to show shield here, otherwise you lose HP, but that's because you're doing things the wrong way. If you're here, we will have to show shield to rotate to where? Where's the next corner here with the information that we have?
Well, there's the room to the right.
Yeah, just go into here. Show shield to here. Try to restabilize a little bit of your health and go from there. So I do believe you go there, but I think, well, no, we're thinking about going left. But see, even here, this is not a bad rotation from you. But where do you need to go with the information that you have?
Well, I could go into the room to the left here.
Just go into the room, right? Go into the room, grab the health pack, kind of hide and stabilize, wait for a second. Because again, look at how they've moved. Look at where they were and look at where they are now. It's not bad. Just fully stabilize, avoid taking damage for a second, generate your shield back, and then where would you go from here?
Well, I suppose there's the cart in the middle of the...
Yeah, move to here. Move to here. Press these guys back. Keep pushing back, right? That's kind of my challenge for you here. And now you think, okay, it's very much a lot of damage, a lot of shield, and then crucially, we didn't decisively get to a corner where we could stabilize. And so we ended up getting a little bit pincered, right? So that's okay. Right. Left side was poorly executed, but the idea is there, okay? Now let's do this again. Shield, 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 transition. And this is where I would wait a few seconds before I transition. And I think this is more on me. Yeah, this is more on me and less on you. Because I was pushing you here, but I think in hindsight, like I think being a little bit more patient here makes a little bit more sense. Extra 500 shield. And then where would you transition from here? Well, exactly where you went. Here. Now, the reason I criticize here is because this isn't exactly permanent cover, right? So where would be the next transition, assuming you had another 500, 600 shield?
Well, I suppose I could go to the building on the left here, or even to the right.
This would get you pincered. This would get you pincered. You see what I'm saying? True. I want you to kind of draw a line from where going from right to right to right to right, or from left to left to left to left. You see what I'm saying? So yes, you would go all the way to where you went last time. And this is amazing. Very, very good cover. Very awkward for the team to deal with you. And when they try to deal with you, they actually turn their backs on your team. You see it? So this was a good idea, but we just didn't quite finish it. And so we end up taking a lot of damage. And then crucially, we don't finish that transition. Because do you want to know why your Moira dies? Well, it's because she's trying to pocket you, the guy that's taking too much damage. That's the main thing to look at. Does that make sense?
I see that. Yeah.
So you've got, you're almost there. You're shoving this high damage comp. I mean, look at where they are. It's almost there if our Moira hadn't died, if we had just been a little bit better with taking a space. Because these guys are not threatening anymore. Look at the space that you created. So it's a good idea, just not very good execution, okay? So we try it again. Flux is used. He uses it too early. And really more of the same here, where this is good. We have more shield. This time we have more shield, so we're able to transition a little bit easier. And you see the Sigma, it's like, I'm going to beat this right up. But look at the space that he gave up to do so. The only problem with what happens here is I believe they just had a million ults, and because you guys had lost 2 fights basically for free.
That's true, yeah.
So it's like one of those situations where it's like, you're going to get negative feedback, but the reality is just that your Moira should have used Cole, and she didn't. That's her mistake, not yours. And they had Trance, they had Life Weaver ult, they had Sojourn ult, and you guys just did nothing. You guys had nothing. That's all there is to it. But you could see how this felt good even without an ultimate to use. Like you guys almost could have clutched this out, even despite you having 0 nothing. Yeah. So this was the first transition that we actually nailed, and it's the transition where they had 3 ultimates.
Yeah.
To dump basically at the same time. Yeah. This is a transition that needs to be done tighter. Too much damage taken here, too much damage taken here. And there's also a world here as well, where if you see them all on the same side, you could just shatter this if you want. Or you could go, well, I don't want this corner anymore. I'm going to go over here now because there's nobody here anymore.
Okay.
And take an angle myself. So it's more of a micro thing, more of like a situational, like you can look at this, but yeah, it's whatever. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the defense here because I don't want to beat a dead horse. Mostly more of the same.
Yeah.
Now, this is where the difference between attack and defense is not that there are different concepts to remember. It's that generally things become a little bit, certain concepts become less important because you already have the corner that you want. Do you see what I'm saying? So right now, as soon as we move to here, notice that our shield's already broken right before the fight starts. Like, and do you want to know why?
Because I held it for too long.
Because we're staying here. We didn't transition fast enough, right? So that means that we get poked, but also if they push us here, you're not really that scary anymore. You're very vulnerable here, right? So, but yeah, this is good. This is like, if you guys want to try to get out of this choke, you're not going to, if you go here, I can hit you. If you go up top here, I can hit you. This is your little mini room. Is that better than this here? No, this is good too. I actually like this room better just because I think it's a bit of a better angle. I think there's more options for you here, but the other room would have been fine too. Too much damage, too much damage, too much damage, too much damage, way too much damage, and that means that we lose the angle. You see it? So then now look at the enemy team's opportunity. And I think, right, Like that's a huge problem. In fact, the only reason you guys even win is because your caster hits a miracle shot across the map. Are we holding space right now?
I suppose not. No.
If you weren't here, where would this BAP Sojourn Zenyatta go?
If I wasn't here,
Yes.
I mean, they could be pushing in. Yeah.
You could at least be peeking, so you are holding space.
Yeah.
But why were you negative about it? Because you're right, because there is a big problem on our screen right now. But it's not where you are positioned; it's what you're doing. What are you doing wrong?
Holding shield.
Holding shield, right? And nothing's peeking this. Nothing's pushing this.
No.
So you're just giving away resource for free. You see, they should have nothing to look at here. Nothing.
No.
Until they walk forward, and then we're walking into a Rein with full HP and full shield.
For sure, yeah.
And that's the problem here. You're shielding off damage that's not coming. There's nothing for them to shoot, you see? And so you don't need to shield here. Now here, this is when we want shield, because I want to be able to swing comfortably. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to swing, and then I'm going to see this. And now you go, crap. But you know what? You have shield. So you can decide, do I want to shield here and get healing from my team and then keep swinging? Or do I want to rotate right back to the corner, in which case I need shield. Shield is the mana, the money that uses you to spend to do things, right? Again, the problem is inconsistent decision making. It would have literally been better for you to stay here than to stand here. You could have transitioned back. You could have stood here. But this is the death zone. This is the death of indecisiveness. Now, crucially, we do get to a corner. And I was like, dude, stop now. Don't go back. I'm like, do not peek this. You just hold here. Don't walk.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we get resources, where's our next corner from here?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but
there are. What are the most obvious one with the information that you have right now?
I mean, looking at them on the high ground, it probably going into the room and trying to push them from there.
You got it. You got it. And this is good. This is not bad, but obviously the end goal of holding a corner is threatening your hammer. And so if they go to another corner, well, maybe you should kind of hit them with your hammer, right? So you should walk here. And to walk here, they're going to shoot you a lot. And that's why you need your shield, because it's an action, right?
Right.
So this is pretty good. This is a little better. We're a little bit better with our corner usage. We're using our shield when they break our cover and push into us, like that Genji just did. And then when we have resources, we just hit people with our hammer. It's pretty good. So you can kind of see as this map evolves, you start to get a little bit more comfortable with it, right? I know this was a crappy map. Like, it happens. I've had worse, actually. I've had live coaching sessions where people rage quit. It happens. But this is fine. Do you see? This is like, look at this BAP Genji. These are not threatening targets right now in the same way that the Widowmaker, because they're not in good positions, and that's because of you. And now you have full resources, so you can use your shield to walk into the open briefly and threaten people. And then as soon as they back off, well, then you just shield and back off too. You see, this is kind of the problem here. It's this kind of stuff, right? You're holding space that they're not really doing anything anyway. So just back off to your corner and go right back and start hitting people with your hammer.
Okay. So rotate and then maybe rotate back up if
yeah, sure. I don't mind you standing here. There's just too much damage taken unnecessarily, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like we should have been faster with our shield, faster with our back off, because we could do this. I mean, this is really annoying for this, because the problem of Baptiste and Zenyatta is the fact that they are oppressive when they have positions and yet are completely incompetent taking positions, right? So you just need to be tighter. Basically everything that you did here was good, just the execution was bad. And this is where I said back off, as in I want you to hold shield and back off, and you took that as pinning out, and I think you die with 1500 shield. I'm like, that's kind of the problem, right? Yeah. But that's also just, this is the nature of live coaching. There's just a lot of things going on, and so it can get very confusing. Okay,
for sure.
Last fight here. Let's hold our corner. This is good. Don't give them anything to shoot. Don't give them, you see it? Don't give them anything to shoot.
Yeah.
You don't give them anything to shoot. Don't give him anything to shoot. This is fine. Fine to swing on ball, because he's on your space.
Yep.
Sure. I don't mind pinning here. It is a bit risky, because remember, what are you letting by pinning here? It's not bad, but just what are you letting? Right? Right?
Yeah.
So your choice. Okay. Your choice. You hit the pin, so hindsight's 2020, so it's perfect play. And then you made a really important decision here, where you were shielding off, taking damage, but you were elite because there wasn't really a good corner there for a moment. Did you notice that? There just didn't really feel like a good corner. I would have preferred you to hold shield and walk towards somebody. But this is where shield's important, is when there's not really a good corner or you're transitioning, right? And so in this situation, the answers are not as easy as we come earlier. But you know what? Because you were better with your corner usage early on, it meant that you had the resource to spend. And this is funny. I don't even know who backcaps. I think it's the ball. Probably the ball is backcaps. Yeah. Okay. So feedback for you. I need to see more decision and decisiveness with moving corner to corner and using your presence for space and the shield as a allowance to do that. But the shield is not the protection. It is your presence that's the protection. The shield is for you, to protect you when you do those presences. It's not to protect your backline, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
And that I want you to be very clear that applies to Orisa too. Fortify, javelin spin, javelin. You looking, like I said, at the rest of that Suravasa, there was a lot of kind of chasing butterflies, worried about your team, and then opening yourself up because you were in that transition, basically, for Orisa, chasing targets. And so you took a lot of damage, and then you would often die first, or you'd get poked down and force resources from your team. Instead of just being like, I'm going to trust my team. Like, how many times this particular round were you swinging on Genji? Like, never, right? How many times were you swinging on Sojourn? A little bit, but mostly it was just like BAP and ball. It felt like a lot of what you were doing here. That's fine. Yes. But that's just who happened to go into your space. And so that was really useful for your team. Because you narrowed the focus. They only really had to think about left side because the right side was pretty much permanently contested by you. And that was with you not even doing it that well. Imagine how much better with a couple weeks of practice of this, how much better you could be at that. For
sure, yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions?
Ooh, well, it's a lot to digest, but...
It is. So that door is open for the future. You don't have to come up with questions now, but if there is a question, I'm available.
Yeah, let me just give a quick think here.
Take your time.
Yeah, so I think my kind of idea usually playing tank, I feel quite responsible for the team, and I feel like, if they're getting pushed, I have to kind of try to help with that. For example, you saw with the Genji and going in and charging him.
100%.
So usually I would still want to believe in my team and try to hold off, the...
Yes. It's the equivalent of like an overprotective mother doing like 50 different things at the same time and doing them all poorly. And then end up burning herself out and then requiring support from her children because she's sick and tired and exhausted. That's basically what you're doing here. You need to commit to what you can control and what you can assist with and trust your children to take care of themselves. And by doing so, you will do your job really well. And also, you won't demand as many resources because you'll be efficient with what you're doing. Your kids will never have to take care of you, right? Your supports will never have to worry about you as much because you're very good with your corner and you're very good with your transitions and you're very decisive. Remember, we talked about that in that first push, right? Moira dies because she's worried about you. It's because you're taking too much damage. So your concept is it's not that tank is selfish. It's not selfish. It's actually very selfless. It's that you are threatening threats on your location and letting your team deal with the other ones. You're narrowing their attention to a certain spot on the map. Remember the tracer on the very first point of Suravasa?
Yep.
It's your job. That way your team can deal with the ball Kiriko without worrying about it.
For sure, yeah.
Especially with Reinhardt and Orisa, especially. Okay. Yeah. Good luck.